TV. You're going to come on.
Okay.
All right, and we're back.
We're back?
No.
False alarm.
False alarm. We got that logo above your head, though.
Good.
Yeah, that's some pretty good stuff you're talking about, though. I'm telling you, this credit stuff is amazing. I mean, how much do you think is actually out there for people to have? Or Adam, all right, Texas, Louisiana, Tallahassee, Florida, Kentucky, and Ohio, and Washington, D.C. We're back with the Credit Ninja.
Yes, sir. So the question that was posed right before our break there was, can anybody get this? And is it pretty easy? Is that a fair restatement of the question there, Fly? Oh, he popped off there. So.
Oh, yeah, I'd put you on your own. Yeah, that was the question.
Okay. Yeah, so broadly speaking, I would say, yeah, there is a sense in which anyone can get this. Like, banks want you to use their credit. Okay, so they want to push this out the door to their customers. They also want to put these cards in the hands of good customers, people who will use this well. Okay, so can anyone get it? The first part of the answer to that question is anyone who can show that they're a good customer to the bank will easily get it. If that's not you, then you have to go through a process of essentially demonstrating to the bank that you are actually a good customer. And what I mean by that is if you took a snapshot of your credit report right now, it may have some unfavorable things on it. It may have some blemishes. It may have some things that's dragging that score down. And so if you were to apply for this credit right now with your current profile, you might get denied or you might get approved, but with very low limits. Those are some of the possible outcomes. However, if you spend optimizing, and that all depends on what you're starting with, but wherever you're starting today, you can take certain steps to remove derogatory remarks, remove inquiries, get your credit repaired, and you'll see your scores start to climb. You can also do things like be added on somebody else's credit card as an authorized user, or things like this that will help strengthen your profile. So over the span of some months, you can turn yourself from maybe not a very desirable client to the bank into one that is highly desirable. And that is represented again by your personal credit profile. So that's part of the game that gets played, is just getting yourself ready for application. Once you have been optimized on your personal credit profile, then you can go into applying for the business credit and doing a credit stack. And as long as you have got yourself within all the criteria that they like to see, you will likely get approved and you will likely get some very juicy limits at the same time. So it kind of becomes a question of, can anyone get it? Yes, anyone can who's ready and willing to go through that process of optimization. Is it easy? Depends on where you're starting with, on what you're starting with. So some people already have good credit and their business is thriving and flourishing already. It probably is easy for them. You know, you probably don't need a coach or a guide. You can probably walk right into a bank and get it done, you know. But for most people, they need help getting prepared to actually do this whole process. And they need a strategy. Like a lot of folks don't know what is the whole spectrum of product that's available out there, because, you know, this stack right here, this comes from probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 different banks. And there's a science and an art to knowing which bank has which product, what criteria do they like to see, because it's not the same on all banks. Some banks are very sensitive about some things, other banks aren't.
Do you have a relationship with all those banks, Adam?
I do. Yeah, I do. So in many cases, I have an actual personal contact inside the bank that I can call or email at a moment's notice and let them know, hey, I'm ready for another application, or here's a thing I need, or here's my friend Billy Bob, who he's ready to apply.
Billy Bob. There's a lot of Billy Bobs out there in Kentucky.
Well, and just to continue our example from before, Billy Bob's a plumber too. So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit of some of the like, I can be in your corner in this process, not only lending my knowledge, but also bringing my personal contacts to the table to help us out and get better results that way. So there is a process to it. It is not necessarily like, for most people, you don't just jump in and start firing off applications right away. Some folks assume that, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot. Because if you have a bunch of applications out there declined, or you have a bunch of inquiries from all that, it just hurts you in terms of trying for more applications.
I know.
Later.
Then you get those little cards like 600 and 1500 and stuff like that.
Yep, that's exactly right. And those don't help you very much. Not when you're trying to spend, $5 grand a month or 20 grand a month or whatever it is. So yeah, it's important to know the whole roadmap, beginning to end, before you start the journey. Actually, that reminds me of a good book. Many people may know it because it's a very famous book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of the principles in that book is begin with the end in mind. And I think that's a crucial principle for the credit journey, is know where you want to end up, set your goals, figure out what the end point and what the end game is for you, and then reverse engineer your steps from that point back to where you are now. And that's the key strategy piece. And that's really, to me, that's the funnest part of the whole process. I love getting on the phone with people and hearing their vision and their dream for where they want to end up in a few months' time, and what they want to do with their business. And then my problem solver brain kicks in, and I start reverse engineering all the steps that they're going to need to take in order to get to that end outcome. And that's a crucial way to approach the credit stacking game.
So you handle, like, if let's say John or Jane Doe American came to you and said, "Hey, Adam, can you handle all this for me? I'm working all day. We're going to pay you to do it. And, we want to hire you to do it." And then what would be the process from there? I mean, you don't have to go into detail, but kind of like, what would be the steps from there? Or what would that look like?
Great question. So first thing is, we're going to do an intake process where I just got to gather some facts and figures on you.
You might want to hold that thought for the next couple of minutes. We're going to go to commercial break here.
Let's do that.
You've been watching Credit Ninja. We'll be right back. And there you go. Now you're on commercial break.
Sweet.
It's incredible, this stuff here. If I can just get the 6-minute ones down, we're okay. But I think we went there about 12 minutes on that one segment. Anyway, we've got about 22 minutes left. And out of the 22 minutes, I mean, we could finish it up if you want. I was trying to get 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I need a 4-minute segment.
Okay.
And then the editor can mess with it. I really am not very good at this, but I had fun doing it. I can tell you that.
Yeah, totally.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to try to get better at this, to just kind of try to help out.
Oh, sure. So you mentioned an editor. Does that mean it's being recorded and then it might be...
we record you on the playlist, and
got it.
As it's live, our TV software. So we're recording it there. It records here in Restream as well. And I think it probably should record in yours. The best way to do it is to go right into Restream there, Adam, and just make 6-minute videos. If you can make them, like, you have a tab on the left-hand side there that you may not be able to see it now because you're in studio, but when you get out of studio, it's going to say record, and you just go there and record like 6 minutes and 5 seconds or 6 minutes and 10 seconds worth of stuff, and just end it. And then go and then hit the record button again and do another one. And
got it.
And make me a show. Like, I gave you a whole list of shows to do. You don't have to do the shows, but those are pretty good. That's a whole outline that I gave you that you could go down. Pick any show you want and just kind of start talking about it, kind of have fun. And you might want to see if you can pull up that other tab. Can you see if you can pull up that other tab?
Well, I'm not really seeing, like, the only buttons I've got available right now is
screen share.
You want me to screen share?
Yeah, see if you can screen share.
Yeah, sure. All right. I got to pick it. Okay, here we go. All right. Are you seeing
Yep,
my
I see
screen?
it. I see your other one on there. I mean, I see it down in Q.
I wondered if it would give us infinite windows there.
Yeah, I have to give you access to the screen share, and I'm not sure exactly how to do that. We'll figure it out for the next show for sure, okay?
Yeah. No, that's fine.
And you are live again, Adam.
Okay. Where were we?
You're the credit ninja. Ninja, you're
Oh,
anywhere you want to be, Adam.
no, you had asked a good question about how does one begin that journey. So in terms of if I'm working with a business owner and they're wanting to get access to those lines, where the process starts is I would do what I just consider an intake process with people. And all that means is I just got to gather all the vital statistics on your business, on your credit, and all that. So I need to know things like income, revenue, expected monthly spend, things like that. I need to know what banks you might already have accounts with, so that I can kind of judge where do you have some advantages already going for you, and where are some other places we might need to begin new relationships. So after I have kind of a lay of the land there, and I've got a whole picture of what the starting point is, and that will also include a detailed printout or version of your personal credit report. So once I've got personal credit report and my intake questions answered, then I've got all the information I need to be able to kind of know where's your starting point right now. And then I compare that with what you told me as far as your goals and where you want to end up. And like I said, we start reverse engineering the steps of the process to get from where you want to end up back to where we are now, so we can then run the play forward. And that will definitely include a detailed report of here are the 5 or 10 steps we might need to do to optimize you before you can apply. Then once you're optimized, here's the sequence that we will apply to BankSat. There's certain intervals, like we may be able to make 5 applications, then we have to pause for a minute and remove inquiries from your credit report, and then we can fire off 3 more applications after that. So that's just some of the art and the science behind credit stacking. And no two people are exactly the same, because person A comes with certain dynamics, person B totally different.
That
And so
sounds
we
like a
got to,
whole job in itself, Adam. That
well,
sounds
it
like a
is.
job. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go to sleep here. I'm depressed now. How am I going to get there? Oh,
No, that's actually a very good way of putting it. When I was learning and doing my own initial stack, it definitely felt like that. I would like go to work all day and have my meetings and do my thing and work my business, and then in the evenings I was kind of figuring out like, okay, what do I have to do tomorrow in order to kind of keep the ball moving up the field here? And it really literally was another part-time job, in terms of time commitment. But once you know the game, figuring these things out and knowing which trick to play at which time, you can just kind of roll that off the top of your head. So
what if your
I've
banker
made all
don't
the
like you? What if they go, you're a get out of here? they, they
never
don't
had that happen, so I
they
couldn't
don't
tell you.
typically say that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's business. Sometimes you discover somewhere along the way you're not a good fit for each other. I think there's just a kind and mutually beneficial way of acknowledging, like, hey, you know what? It seems like you're not ready to actually pull the trigger on this. Let's put pause on it, and you can tell me if you want to come back to this later, or maybe you got far enough in to just decide this isn't for you. That's okay. We can just unwind whatever we've done, and if there's any cost to the work done to that point, we'll figure that out. But we all want to leave friends here.
Yeah. Well, you always want to pay to play, though. You gotta pay to play. It's like you go to the restaurant. You can't just say,
Yeah.
well, I didn't like the food, but I ate it all. I ate half the food. I didn't like it, and expect
Yeah, right.
not to pay. That's not fair.
No.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And it's pretty industry standard. So it's not like I'm the only one that does this out there. There's plenty of people that do a similar type of thing. But the industry standard is, yeah, you have some initial fee to get started, because there's a lot of work put in just on that front end evaluation.
Yeah.
Just doing the intake and figuring out what is your starting point here. We spend some hours on the phone. and going over some documents and all that. So yeah, right at the outset in an initial engagement, there is a fee. So you will pay some money. And then from there, though, there's varying models, but most people follow some kind of a percentage of the win for you. So if I go and get you $100,000, at the end of that, once we've determined how much has actually been obtained on your behalf, that's our big number. And then there's some percentage of that number that's due as a fee at the back end.
That sounds great. And I don't know anybody who would object to that. I mean, that's pretty reasonable, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And what we're trying to do is keep the barrier of entry low so that, even people who are really new in business can still do this, can still get in. So that's why that initial fee is as small as we can make it. We got to pay for our time, but we're trying to keep that low. And then we're trying to capture the majority of our fee on the back end after you have the credit available to you to pay it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of businesses, if they did that, use that same model, they'd really do good, because then they could pay operations, right?
Yep.
And then as they bring on more clients, and they could, et cetera, pay on the back end. Makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. What do you see? Like, let's say you get a guy we talked about this yesterday. I'm messing up your show, but let's say it's 740 credit score. And and they're like, oh man, I got it all. I got the credit. I've got a little business who's like, doing really well. It's my side hustle, and I want to quit my job so bad. What would you, what would you say to somebody like that? Maybe the side hustle doesn't quite make as much as their job does yet, but they want to quit. What would you say? Go ahead and quit and do your dream?
Well, since I am not a qualified financial advisor, I cannot offer advice about whether or not you ought to quit. What I can do is say, you make your own decision about when you want to quit or whatever there. But if your goal is to be able to put more capital toward your side hustle, to be able to grow that, I can help you get that capital. And I know the tricks and the tricks of the trade to get you there. But I can't tell you what's going to be best for your life. I mean, I have my opinions and I love to tell people what to do.
I think if you have a dream, you better go for it, because you just piss around, excuse my language, you mess around and stretch it out for years and years. You're never gonna, you get older and you go, oh shoot, I don't move as fast as I used to.
Yeah.
Maybe
Sure. Well, and just commenting on human nature in general, again, myself included here, is we all have a little bit of a fear of the unknown, right? And what we may not know, like what's comfortable for us is keep working the day job, right? And kind of enjoy the little side hustle here. And maybe you could continue doing that for many years to come. But there's a part of you that has that curiosity of like, man, what if I took the leap though? What if I got out of the job and actually made the side hustle the main hustle, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question for you, but I do know, just in my own journey and just the way human nature works, like we're both simultaneously tantalized by that idea, like, oh, it could be so awesome, and also afraid of it at the same time, because I just don't know if I have what it takes or, whatever. But what I can say is the tools of the business credit toolbox, if you will, can at least provide you the capital and the means to take that leap if you want to. And that
try it out.
Yeah. That might take
commercial. We're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Sure.
All right, we're on commercial break now. That was excellent. I like that.
Great.
That was good stuff. I don't know, man. I think of the average person too, I'll tell you, they know within a minute if they want to be in business, because they don't have a job, and the next day they wake up and they go, holy crap, or they're like, yeah, let's do it. With me, I have to have both. I kind of have to have jobs, and then I have to have businesses too.
Right. No, I think that can be a good thing, actually, because one provides maybe a little bit more stability and the other might be more volatile, but you can handle that volatility if you've also got the stability going on.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out how to do that screen share. I think when we first start the broadcast, it says, ask if we give permission to the guest to screen share. and I'm not sure
Okay.
exactly how to do that now, but I'll figure it out sometime in the next.
That's okay. I mean, I'm just kind of I'm hitting the screen share button again right now. Actually, that's not a good one. Just to experiment with
Yeah,
it.
try it out.
And it's let me pick from all my open windows here.
Yep, try one out.
Let's see. I got to think. Okay, so here's just like a PDF that I had up.
I'll let you know when you're live on the screen. You'll be live on the screen. Okay, there you go.
So,
and there you are.
So you see my document here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm seeing that too. And so then if I just hit the button, then it's not shared anymore, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So in the future,
that's
I could
amazing.
have things.
Hold on, Adam. We're going to go live here in just a second. And I think you're going to be live in about right now here.
Okay.
And there you are. And we're back.
All right. Great. Good to be back. So yeah, just to bring it home, because I see we're nearly at the end of our time here. I think that the main thing I would want to leave people with is just that getting access to business capital is probably a lot easier and more accessible than you think. Even if you personally are a little intimidated by the process, that's okay. People like me are out there to help you get it. But the point is, if the only thing holding you back from trying to chase that dream that you were just asking about, Fly, is just like, oh, I'm not sure I can get enough capital scraped together to launch or to grow or whatever it is, I guess in my mind, that's sort of the easy part. Getting the capital is definitely doable. So, again, here's my visual aid to help prove it.
That's pretty amazing.
But if there's other factors beyond just the capital, if you're not sure of your own abilities, or you're not sure if the market will accept you, or whatever it is, like, do your homework on those, get some more confidence there. But at the end of the day, it is a calculated risk. And I think the best bet you can make is on yourself. And the way you can place a bet, like here's what you can wager with. If you believe you have the work ethic and the wherewithal and the vision and the drive to go make that new widget and sell it to the market, and you just need capital, here it is. I've got it in my hand, right? And it is absolutely attainable. And I know the methods, I know the tricks for how to get people from wherever they're at now to the end game of, here's my business capital so I can launch my idea, or so I can take my current business from level 1 to level 10. There are so many tools out there for it, and the banks love to put it in the hands of good borrowers. And I know how to make you appear to be a good borrower to a bank. And you just need to decide for yourself if you've got the willpower and the wherewithal to go take a run at it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, I'll tell you what, I've tried it. I'd rather somebody do it for me.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, just trying to clean up going on the credit reports. I'd look at that and I'd have a headache. I'm like, oh boy,
I did too the first time I saw it. I was like, I don't know what to tweak here. I don't know what my options are. I don't know how to. This thing is on there. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know how to change it. But that's what I had to learn along the way. Is there are ways to handle all of those things.
Gotcha. And you don't have a course yet, but I'm guessing you're probably going to build one someday, right?
I would like to. Yeah. I mean, I think that would be a smart thing to do in that, or even just a YouTube channel, maybe something like that.
Boo.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Sorry,
Boo?
YouTube. Don't be mad at me.
All right. Yeah. I mean, whatever the cool kids
love
are on
YouTube,
these days.
but I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of YouTube. But we're not mad at you, YouTube.
That's fair.
They're always pinging me and saying, you said something you shouldn't have said. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I know.
And they go, can you take a class? Then they make you take a class and answer these questions. And after the end of the questions, they go, you're fantastic.
Well, I haven't been through that process before, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, very much so. I would like to have some package of content somewhere for the world to be able to come and at least learn some of the things, or get a tour through, hey, here's how to read a credit report, or here are the things that you need to be prepared for on an application, things like that. But I mean, I always feel most confident in the guidance and suggestions I'm making when I have a personal relationship with somebody. We've been on the phone together. I've been able to ask questions to understand what the goals, hopes, and dreams are, all that sort of thing. So blasting out content, whether it be video or written or otherwise, it's sort of like, well, here's my best attempt at a one size fits all. But I really like to custom fit things to where a person is at and where they're hoping to go.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's wrap it up for the day. You did a great job.
Hey, thanks.
Credit Ninja. You want to say goodbye, anything, and then before we let you go?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we'll see each other again here on the channel sometime soon. Fly and I'll be working out scheduling on it, but it's been a pleasure hanging out with you, Fly, and being able to hopefully help somebody and the fine folks at home there. I hope so. I'd love to keep the interactions going here around business credit because it's an exciting thing.
Thank you, Adam. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks. You too.
That was pretty fantastic. That was Adam Ruster. That guy is amazing. Amazing. Oh, boy. That's all I got to say. He is just amazing. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back. You did great. Oh, yeah. And that's the way it works, America. Hello, Texas, Louisiana, Tallahassee, Washington, D.C., Denver, Colorado, Canada. We got people watching from Dubai, from Liechtenstein. Not sure how they find us. And Ireland. Hi, everybody. Fly Mackey here with Smart Money Culture Television. Was that a great show with Adam, the Credit Ninja? That guy is amazing. You can always go to our site there. Just click on the link, smartmoneyculture.tv. You see the link above my right ear there. And go to the contacts page and send us a note, and we'll send it over to Adam and make sure he gets a hold of you. And he is fantastic at credit. And you heard him. I mean, there's a reason they call him the Credit Ninja. That's for sure. I mean, he is amazing. And you heard him talk about, having over $1 million worth of credit and lines of credit and $300,000 just in those credit cards he had right there in his hands, which was amazing, So, oh yeah, yeah, he's a good. Let's take a look at a little news here, okay? And see what's going on here on Twitter. We're going to go to commercial break here in just a second. Let's see what's on here. Let's listen to what
super off-road package, Raptor package.
turns on Democratic deep state, says
Totally
58% of Ukraine war aid
really
funds stolen by Washington insiders. Wow.
So here it is. This baby is so sexy. I've already been driving it. So smooth, so amazing. I haven't taken it off-road yet. Don't worry, I still baby it. This is just incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited about this. And
that is incredible. By the way, you know, I drive an old 2005 van, Ford van, and we gutted the seats in the back. People ask me all the time, why aren't you driving one of those, you know, because we've had very nice, those of you who know me know I've got some nice vehicles. And then when I started traveling, I needed something. I wanted something that was an older engine and easier to work on. So I can go now. I know. We may upgrade someday, but I got this old van. We drive around in it. I got my dogs in the back with a bed so they can ride in comfort. And I really want the dogs to be able to ride in comfort. And it's an old engine, so I can break down anywhere in America. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if something happens, I can pull into any mechanic anywhere in America. And because it has a simple engine in it, they can work on it. They don't have to be a certified mechanic, and I don't have to take it to some dealership. You know what I mean? I was in Texas and I had some issues, and I took it into a mechanic, and he goes, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost you $2,000 and this and that." And I go, "You sure? Are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "When?" He said, "Leave it here and come back in 2 or 3 days." I go, "What? No, I can't do that. Tell me when to bring it back." And he said, "Well, bring it back on Tuesday." This was like on a Saturday. Okay. So anyway, that gave me a couple of days, and I went to another mechanic and I said, "Hey, this guy over here says this." He goes, "No. I can do the whole thing for about $350. And both of those mechanics were referred to me. But I believed the guy, not because he was cheaper, but just the way he talked to me about, you know, really what the problems were. And he goes, "This is pretty simple stuff. Let me tell me exactly what's going on." The other guy said, "Oh, yeah, well, it's going to be more complicated than just, you know, I'm going to have to check it out." He said, "But if it's what I think it is, and if it's this, it's this much. If it's that much." The other guy said, "I know exactly what it is." He put the little thing in the engine, and that little machine told him exactly what. That's the beauty of older vehicles. Well, the newer vehicles will do it too. You can also go down to any, like, what do they say, auto parts store, and they'll come out and put the little thing on there. So that was the easiest thing about driving like that. Anyway, I'm babbling on about an old vehicle. Trust me, I always like the bigger vehicles, the brand new ones, you know. But as we start to grow the business, I'm like, you know what? Let's put the money into the business and let's get rid of the vehicles. And that old van has been really good. I tell you, I can't tell you how many times me and the dogs have pulled over and just took a nap under the good cold AC. All right, let's take a look at a little bit at some news here, okay? Let's take a look at some Bitcoin real quick and see where Bitcoin has dropped. Bitcoin has dropped since, ooh, look at this. It's going to go, it's breaking that line here, right here, 96,000. We should be hitting, it should be hitting, you know, somewhere around, you know, I'm thinking it's going to drop to 89,000, give or take, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let me go over here and Hi, everybody. Once again, Fly Mackey here with the Fly Mackey Show on Smart Money Culture Television. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy what's been going on with the commercials, or excuse me, the crypto. Yeah, I'm just writing me a note right here. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy what's going on. Let's take a look at what's going on right here. Ooh, look at this. So Bitcoin dropping to 96,000. It just popped back up to 97. But you know, I've been talking about this. Those of you who watch my show, I told you I haven't seen Bitcoin this bearish, and since I've been tracking, for about 7 years, I have not seen it this bearish. I'm also very bullish on it because once it hits the whatever retracement, I think we're heading up to 150, 180, 250,000, something like that. Yeah, I guess we're going to see here. This is pretty amazing watching it. I think we're just going to watch it for a little bit. You guys pay attention here. This is pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, once again, this is a live chart here. Let's see what's popped back down to 96,000. Yeah, once again, this is a live chart here. Let's see what's popped back down to 96,000. Let's make this chart a little bit bigger. And this is a 4-hour chart, but you see here how it broke through the channel here, and man, it's making its way down. You see here where we drew the channel where it was at, and then it broke down through that channel, and it really made a drop. It looks worse than it is from 101 to 96, so it's dropped about $5,000, about 5-6%. It's dropped about. Well, it says it's dropped 3.9% today, because it was around 102,000, give or take, something like that. Dropped $4,000, 4%, and it is making a move down. We're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back. You've been watching the Fly Mackey Show here on Smart Money Culture TV. I'm not a very good studio engineer, but I did it for the first time ever. I'm getting better at it. Yeah, this is pretty incredible. I was just talking to somebody offline here what they bought it at, XRP, and what they bought Bitcoin at going down. I told the engineer I did it my studio engineering for the first time. Not very good at it, but I enjoyed doing it. Let's take a look at X and see what kind of news is going on here. Zelensky is starting to rat on the Democrats, saying about how much money that they took out of those billions of dollars. Interesting, some of this news here. All right, and we're back live again. All right. That's very interesting. I'm telling you. Japan, of course, we don't know this to be true. Jack the Rippler has 339,000 followers. He's got quite a bit of people that are responding to his posts. So he obviously has some credibility here. Yeah, he officially left the SEC. That was a few days ago. We already know that. He started out so good, too. Anyway, let's get back to some of this news here. What is wrong with people? Of course, you should vote for him. What is wrong with these people?
Дивіться, я як президент воюючої країни вам говорю,
Let's
ми
watch this for
отримали
just a second, okay?
більше 75.
Just want to see what's going on here.
Тобто 100 мільярдів з цих 177 або
said 100
200,
billion
говорять
didn't
навіть
come his
деякі
way.
люди, ми ніколи не отримували. І це важливо. Бо ми говоримо про конкретні речі, бо ми отримали це не грошима, а зброєю. Ми зброєю отримали на 70 з чимось мільярдів. Є навчання, тренування, є додатковий транспорт, є не тільки ціну на зброю, були гуманітарні програми, соціальні тощо. Але коли говорять, що Україна під час війни отримала 200 мільярдів на підтримку армії тощо, це неправда. Я не знаю, де всі ці гроші.
Interesting. Not going to end well for people like this. See, what they got to understand, what you need to understand as Americans, because they're leading us astray, is that these guys here didn't vote for Trump. This is the other side. And so they're doing, because the majority of Latinos voted for Trump. Sorry. Okay. So this is all just a bunch of BS, and they're paying these people to stay home. This is what the far left does, because they have hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, that they're willing to spend in order to do this. Just look how much money they spent. $400 million. I think I'm off on that number. I think it's higher. Sending private jets to go get pedophiles and murderers and rapists and bring them here. Facts don't care about our feelings, and I'm not trying to start anything other than this is real news. This is what happens when, and then here we go. Here, this Dumbo. Here, I got 1 million followers. I ain't going to work. Well, he probably doesn't work anyway. Maybe he does. I don't know. Either way, this is the left. This isn't the majority of America who wants these guys out. Abuelita, we don't want Abuelita living. We want the murderers and the rapists and the child pedos and, the arsonists and the what do they call those? The criminals from career criminals. The career criminals. Those are the ones we want out. Who wants to keep them? What is wrong with this idiot? I mean, seriously, why would why would anybody in any right mind say, no, I want to keep the murderers, I want to keep the rapists, I want to keep the pedos, I want to keep the career criminals here. Oh, don't send them. We want them. There's nobody wants them. His mom and dad don't want him. His aunt and uncle, his brothers and sisters, nobody in their right mind want those people here, no matter who. And they ain't all Mexicans, okay? A lot of them are from lots of other places in the world besides Mexico, all right? Yeah, what an idiot this guy is. I got 1 million followers. Yeah. Good way to lose them, but hey, do what you're going to do, bro. Look at that face of his. Could you imagine being out in public with a face like that? Listen to this. Panama surrenders. Will not renew agreement with China over Silk Route. Of course not, because they love America. And there you go. That's how that works. Here's General Mike Flynn. Let's see what General Flynn says. Yeah, General Flynn, they messed with him so much. This poor guy. They messed with him. Interesting. Let's see what they say here.
Has claimed that they have access to every single person's bank account. This person also indicated that they've been working with the Department of Justice and that they have absolutely no problem whatsoever going after the little guy to make sure that they are paying their taxes. This is such a blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment that Jim Jordan and I sent a letter to the IRS demanding that they provide additional information about what they are doing with AI and what they are doing to protect the civil rights of American citizens. What we have learned is that
This guy has a Wall Street Apes, 766.7 thousand followers. That's quite a bit. I've been Not sure who this is, but they followed by Joe Rogan, Donald Trump Jr., Bongino, Matt Gaetz, Cat Turds 2, James O'Keefe. Interesting. Gotcha. Okay. Benny Johnson. What does Benny Johnson say? Interesting. Yeah.
Выполняли любой приказ со стороны Вашингтона при Байдене. Просто им Трамп не нравится, они с ним боролись активно, да, реально вмешивались в политическую жизнь, предвыборный процесс в Соединенных Штатах, а потом растерялись, когда Трамп вдруг выиграл. И потом Байден ментально им больше нравился, понимаете, ментально. А у Трампа другие представления о том, что такое хорошо, что такое плохо, в том числе в этой гендерной политике, в некоторых других вопросах, им как бы не нравится это. Но я вас уверяю, Трамп с его характером, с его
All right, guys and gals.
значит, настойчивостью, он
Thank you for watching us here on the Fly Mackey Show. God bless you, and we'll see you later this evening.
Быстро, скоро все они встанут у ноги хозяина и будут нежно помахивать хвостиком. Что изменилось, что ли, со времен Байдена? Да ничего не изменилось.
Good show, guys. We'll see you this evening.
Они